How Saudi Arabia views the ongoing international efforts for ceasefire in Gaza? And secondly, what are the likely consequences of the recent escalation for the peace and stability of the broader region where we all live? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your question. And what can I say about Gaza except that the international efforts towards a ceasefire have been wholly insufficient. We are now well beyond 33,000 civilians killed. We are now actively discussing the potential for famine in Gaza. Again, famine. That means people are starving to death because humanitarian assistance is not getting to them. This is an unacceptable situation. It is a complete failure of the international system and the systems of international law and governance to live up to their responsibilities. We must have a ceasefire now, and we must have access for humanitarian aid immediately. There is no justification for the restriction of humanitarian aid in entering Gaza. It is a reality that despite 2 UN Security Council resolutions, we have not seen sufficient aid entering. We have finally now started to see a turnaround in the issue of aid. Unfortunately, that happened after 6 Western aid workers were killed by Israel. But it didn't happen after 33,000 Palestinians were killed. So this shows you the continuing double standard that we have to deal with and we have to live with. The reality is the international community is not living up to its responsibility. We must do more to end the killing. We must do more to end the suffering of the people of Gaza. And we will continue to call for that, and as we will do that with our partners around the world. Look, we are already in an unstable region. The humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza is already inflaming the region. We do not need more conflict in our region. We do not need more confrontation in our region. So it is our position that de-escalation must be everybody's priority. When there are differences, they should be resolved through dialogue, not through the use of force, and we will do everything we can to push in that direction. Thank you.
If, with your permission, my dear brother, if I can add few words. On this issue, it's a very important issue, and Pakistan is deeply concerned over Gaza issue. I share the feelings, the statement of my dear brother, Highness, the Foreign Minister of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We have talked about this subject bilaterally, and I think it is a time that this genocide must end, because 33,000 killings of of Muslim brothers and sisters and small innocent children, this is far too much, and the world conscious must wake up. I think we both agree that what we need is immediate and unconditional ceasefire to take place. We both believe that unimpeded humanitarian assistance to the besieged people of Gaza should go. They should not let them be killed by starvation. In addition to the genocide there is taking place, there's the return of the displaced Palestinian must also take place, and the accountability of the crimes which have been committed. I mean, we have been seeing the centuries-old and the decades-old crimes are being, investigated, and accountabilities undertaken in the recent last few decades. Why not for this genocide crime? So I fully endorse my brother's feeling. Pakistan is deeply concerned. We believe the perpetual solution to this issue will be when Palestinian state is established according to the 1964 resolution with Al-Quds Sharif with its capital. I think that is what is required. It is good for Israel perhaps also, but I think it is need of the hour, and the world community must wake up. You just heard my brother saying that only 6 killings of the Western people woke them up, and we saw some action being taken place, but for months there was no movement. So I share my brother's feeling, and on behalf of Pakistan, on a personal behalf, that this is something I think the world must act fast and as fast as it can. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now ask Mr. Muhammad Ejaz from GNN. to pose a question to the Foreign Minister of Pakistan.
Ji, I would like to ask a question from both the dignitaries here. As you mentioned in your speech earlier about the Pakistani diaspora, I would like to ask the Pakistani diaspora is living in the Saudi Arabia for very long, and they are playing a very positive role in the Saudi society and the development. How Pakistani diaspora can play its role in future strengthening the ties between the both countries? And secondly, I would like to ask my guest foreign minister how Pakistan is facing a challenging situation, and the world is also facing different challenges. How Pakistan and Saudi Arabia will both proceed to overcome these challenges and to face the situation as you have mentioned in Gaza?
Well, let me just explain to you that, I thank His Highness and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia leadership for hosting our 2.5 million, Pakistanis there, which is 28% of the workforce of Pakistan. And their contribution in the national exchequer through the remittances is tremendous. Is almost 25% of the total remittances Pakistan receives from all over the world from Pakistani expatriates. Number two, I have requested my dear Highness brother that if the kingdom could consider that we have a new policy which has been decided by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, that we would now train our labor force and our human resource export based on skill training, and particularly in different fields. So, the kingdom is coming up with a huge 2030 vision. The vision of the leadership of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman. So they are creating a new world in the name of new city. So I have requested that Kingdom may kindly consider. We will meet the standards, we will meet the skill requirements, we will meet more human export, human resource export from Pakistan. So, we have discussed this subject in detail. Would you like to add, Your Highness?
Excellency, yes. First on our brothers from Pakistan who live and work in the kingdom, as I told you, Excellency, we are incredibly grateful for the contribution that they make and have made historically to the development of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Our brothers from Pakistan have stood side by side with us for decades now in building our country, and we are very grateful for that, and they are a very important positive contribution to our economy, and they continue to be so, and I'm sure they will continue to be such in the future. And with the initiatives of the government, we hope we can add additional value for both of our countries in that regard. Obviously, as regards facing challenges together, we will have to cooperate, and we will rely on each other's support as we have historically.